and welcome to the 2023 Mayor's State of the City. I'm Andrea Rico, and I will serve as your MC this evening. Did you guys enjoy the jazz music? Outstanding. How about our mini mariachis in the front? Were they fantastic too? Awesome. I do want to say a very big thank you to the Lou Styles Quartet who played the jazz music. The band, let's give them another round of applause. They were awesome. The band is named in honor of Lou Styles Sr., who recently passed away. Lou Styles Sr. was the founder of Styles Music in Pomona, which opened its doors in 1978. You guys heard that, right? Our hearts are with the Styles family and honor the memory of Lou Styles Sr. for his contributions to the Pomona community. Thank you. This evening is a showcase of the arts, culture, and people of Pomona. This event is not your traditional State of the City. It is a night to celebrate community with community. And in my opinion, just mine, the most exciting political event happening today in the country. Too soon? Too soon? Might have missed some news or something. Yes, this is where it's at. Had to throw that in there. Tonight we share with you all that is Pomona. I would like to extend a very special thank you to our event sponsors. Monique Robles and the Pomona Chamber of Commerce, who hosted our Taste of Pomona. Let's have a round of applause. How great was that food? Please, and thank you to our restaurants for supporting this event. And please, if you can, when you're in Pomona, let's see you guys go to one of these establishments and support our local small businesses. I'd also like to thank the DA Center for the Arts and DA and their team for curating the art exhibit in the lobby. All of the pieces are from local Pomona artists, and if you're interested in purchasing any of them, please contact the artists, many of whom are in attendance tonight, or DA Center staff. Thank you once again. I saw one of the pieces that I'd like to buy. Also, I would like to thank the team from the Fox Theater for allowing us to hold tonight's event in this historic and iconic building built in 1931. Thank you, Fox Theater. And to the Foothill Gold Line, what an exciting project and accomplishment for our city. There's more to come. Thank you, Foothill Gold Line. Yay. And thank you to the Village Academy students of videography. There they are, who are covering this event. Also to La Nueva Voz, Pomona's only local newspaper, who is live streaming the event tonight on their Facebook. In addition to the event being streamed on the official city Facebook as well. Thank you very much. And finally, thank you to the Pomona Girl Scouts troop who served as greeters. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Joining us tonight are friends, families, colleagues, and community. I would like to take a few moments and recognize some distinguished guests. If you hear your name, just kind of wave. Pomona City Manager, James Maxinoff. I butchered your name. I'm so sorry. If you guys saw how it's spelled. Our Chief of Police, Chief Michael Ellis. Representing Tri-City, Remy Hundle. From the DPOA, Lorna Parker, I can't read the writing, but sorry about that. Lorna Parker from the DPOA. Joining us from Pomona Valley Hospital, Mr. James Dale. Thank you to all our guests. At this time, please rise for the presentation of the colors by American Legion Post 30, Pomona. Please continue to stand and welcome to the stage Angie Carrillo from Diamond Ranch High School for the singing of the national anthem. And she doesn't know this, but today's her birthday and she's here doing this for us. Happy birthday.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Wow, breathtaking. Please remain standing. I would now like to invite on stage Corporal Eric Ramirez from the Pomona Police Department and Stephanie Boatman, 3rd Vice Commander from the American Legion Post 30, to lead us in the pledge. Corporal Ramirez is a graduate of PUSD and served our country in the United States Marine Corps, achieving the rank of sergeant. During some of that time, he was assigned to the security detail of the presidential helicopter Marine One. And 3rd Vice Commander Stephanie Boatman is also a product of PUSD. 2 days after graduation, she enlisted in the United States Marine Corps and attended training at MCRD Paris Island in South Carolina. Unfortunately, due to a serious accident that left her with a permanent disability, she was unable to continue her military career. Through her own experiences, she found her purpose and is now working in special education at PUSD. Please join us in the pledge.
Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
We thank both Corporal Ramirez and 3rd Vice Commander Stephanie Boatman and all of our Pomona veterans and those who are currently serving in the armed forces. Thank you for your service. Before I introduce the man of the evening, I wanted to share that historically, Pomona's mayor and city council honor members of the community at this event. But because there are so many individuals who are deserving of this recognition, we will be hosting a volunteer reception in the near future to honor community members who selflessly serve our city through volunteerism and community engagement. At this time, it is my great honor to introduce to you the Honorable Mayor of the great city of Pomona, Mayor Tim Sandoval.
Disappointment was my closest friend, but then you came and he soon departed, and you know he never showed his face again. That's why your love keep on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I said your love keep on.
Good evening, and welcome to the beautiful Fox Theater in downtown Pomona. Welcome. I'm truly honored. I think we're probably having a little bit of feed from the mic. Can you hear me okay? I know, are you hearing the sound that I'm hearing? Okay, all right, my apologies. I'm truly honored to be here with you this evening. Bienvenidos a todos. Me siento verdaderamente honrado de estar con ustedes esta noche. I want to start by thanking, there's so many people to thank. An event like this doesn't just happen, it takes so many people coming together to make it happen. Let's start with Andrea. Andrea, thank you so much. She did so much work, not only serving as our MC, but being able to get us here today. The food, you name it. It would not have happened without Andrea. I also want to extend my thanks to Angie Carrillo. What an amazing job she did of performing our national anthem. Officer Eric Ramirez, a fellow PUSD graduate, leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Give him a nice big hand. And to the talented people of Pomona, thank you. To all the artists who displayed their art in the foyer, the mini mariachis, weren't they amazing? The Lou Styles Quartet, the American Legion Post 30 Color Guard, the Village Academy videographers who are going to make it possible for folks who couldn't be here today to see it in the days to come, and of course, the restaurants who prepared a taste of Pomona for you. Give them a nice big hand. Thank you so much. And later in the program, something a little different. In my speech, I've built in some entertainment to give you a little rest so that you can hear more amazing talent. And so a little later, we're gonna see singer Harmony Nichols. We're also gonna see our current poet laureate, Cesar Avilar, and then Music Tree Children's Choir. And I also want to thank the Fox Theater and their amazing staff for hosting us. It is much appreciated. I also want to thank my colleagues who work as elected officials and their representatives. Let's go ahead and start with U.S. Congresswoman Norma Torres's Representative Jacqueline Elizalde. Thank you for being here. State Senate Senator Susan Rubio, Anthony Moreno, thank you so much for being here. From State Assembly, Freddie Rodriguez's office, Jenny Macias, raised here in the city of Pomona, grew up here. I also believe we have representatives from County Board of Supervisors. If you're here, thank you for being here. I also want to acknowledge our assessor, Jeffrey Prang from the county, not to be confused with the tax person, the assessor. Am I right, Jeffrey? Did I get that right? Welcome, Jeffrey Prang from the County of Los Angeles. I also want to thank our Three Valleys Water Director, Carlos Goitia. Thank you for being here as well. I want to thank our school board members who played an important role in this event in helping bring some of this talent today. I want to thank you, Dr. Roberta Perlman and school board member Art Jimenez. Thank you so much. Forgive me if I've missed anyone. And I also wanted to say thank you to all the city commissioners as well. Thank you for your service. I do also want to just recognize the City Council for your dedication and commitment to create the conditions for our community to thrive. I'd like to start by asking our Vice Mayor from District 1, John Nolte, give him a nice big hand. From District 2, Council Member Victor Preciado. District 3, Council Member Nora Garcia. District 4, Council Member Elizabeth Ontiveros Cole. And District 5, Council Member Steve Lustro. Thank you for all your service. And lastly, thank you to my wife, Griselda, who inspires me and has supported me on this incredible 7-year journey. 7 years as mayor, and of course, my 3-year-old son, Roy. I love you both. Thank you. It goes without saying that since I last delivered my State of the City address in person in 2019 here at the Fox Theater, the world we live in has dramatically changed. Our institutions were challenged. City government, schools, businesses, community-based organizations, and faith-based communities were all challenged. But the pandemic also triggered something else here in our city that is special and unique. Shortly after our world started changing in the spring of 2020, we saw our residents, in collaboration with our city government and institutions, come together to help others, particularly our most vulnerable community members. French writer and philosopher Albert Camus said it best. In the midst of winter, I found there was within me, within us, an invincible summer. I was witness to it. Our residents, city staff, organizations, and institutions, you delivered food, you helped renters fill out forms to obtain rental assistance that resulted in Pomona renters receiving over $30 million in assistance. You called neighbors to make sure they were okay. You provided hotel rooms to individuals so they could quarantine and protect their families from infection. And you raised $250,000 to support undocumented residents when we didn't know if our undocumented population would be eligible for certain government services. There are many, many more things that I haven't named here, but you know the work that was done. And every one of you stepped up. You took ownership to help others in their greatest time of need. So I ask that you take a moment with me to please stand. Every single one of you, just please stand. Our city staff, our educational partners, our community-based partners, our faith-based partners, business partners, every one of you, and our residents, stand and give yourselves a rousing ovation for the heart and soul you gave and continue to give to the Pomona's people. Thank you for your servant leadership. Thank you. You may have a seat. And to capture that spirit, to capture our city through song, I'd like to invite up Harmony Nichols, who will be singing Our City. Come on up, Harmony.
Out of the ruins and rubble, out of the smoke, out of our night of struggle, can we see a ray of hope? One pale thin ray reaching for the day. We can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. We may not reach the ending, but we can start slowly but truly mending, brick by brick, heart by heart. Now, maybe now we start learning how we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. When your trust is all but shattered, when your faith is all but killed, you can give up bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but finally a city of men. A city of
Wow. Wasn't that amazing? Thank you, Harmony. And know that I'll have a group of children choir members come up to break it up a little bit so that you don't have to listen to me for the entire time. The pandemic exposed our shortcomings, but your good work shed light on how we might create a vibrant ecosystem where all members of our community can thrive and prosper. Since you first elected me to serve as mayor, we have taken significant steps together to invest in the services and infrastructure to do just that. Again, to create a vibrant ecosystem where all members of our community can thrive and prosper. Evidence of this work abounds, even though there is still much work to be done. I saw it 2 Saturdays ago when we kicked off our summer concert series at Civic Center Plaza. Children were running around and smiling, laughing, and having fun while their parents or grandparents were singing and dancing to the music. It was a beautiful setting where community was coming together to connect and relax for an evening. And how important is it to provide those opportunities for our community to come together and just get away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. And last week at the Mayor's Gala, organized by the Pomona Public Library Foundation, our community again came together to support one of the most important institutions, our public library. And we were honored to have Pomona's Poet Laureate, Cesar Avilar, deliver 2 powerful poems that gave us all a window into the life of experiences of a paletero man and a janitor. Cesar is with us tonight. Please welcome Pomona's Poet Laureate, Cesar Avilar. Give him a nice big hand. We'll get you right after, okay? That's what he said.
First of all, I'd like to give the city of Pomona my own big round of applause. Give yourself a big round of applause. Give me 1 second. Go. I host an open mic. These things happen all the time. I'm gonna read a poem that was written in Pomona in one of my favorite spaces, Day Day's Chicken and Waffle House. You know what I'm saying? I thought it fit the occasion perfectly. So I just believe that our spaces are filled with poetry, filled with words, you know, like our communities, just because of our culture, the way we speak, is so poetic. And I like to give props to that and acknowledge that. So here's Day Day's. Day Day's Barbecue and Waffle House is a haven for working people. A people whose ruggedness sings with gutters, who fit pipe, frame buildings, build a country, build a dream, eating food with dust.
Mindful meditation on crafts and side hustles. Pomona's poetry, Pomona's art and architecture, Pomona's progression. After a long acknowledged pause, we have a new front and a united cause for peace, advocacy, equity in our arts and education. Pomona's parks are perking up to provide safe spaces for our youth and elation. Goal Line is connecting us to more community and economic opportunity. This is the new Pomona now. Let's get with the frequency.
Now, I could have tried to say that, but there's no way I could have ever said it like David Judah and Cesar Avilar. Give them a big hand, everyone. So what do I mean by an ecosystem that allows the community to thrive and prosper? I'm referring to the idea that our city is a network of interconnected resources. Our homes, where we live, places of work, our schools, parks, streets, and community services that work together to support daily life. Strong ecosystems protect the web of critical relationships and add new ones where support is weak or vulnerable to disruption. I believe the strengthening of our city's ecosystem starts with the investment we make in our children and families, particularly our most vulnerable community members. I often say when we fail to invest in our children on the front end, we spend so much more on the back end addressing the social ills that arise due to this lack of investment. Renowned University of Chicago professor James Heckman's research on early childhood speaks to this. This is what he says. High quality, birth to 5 early childhood education results in stronger families and multi-generation outcomes emerging as an effective way to break the cycle of poverty. I am proud to say, and I say this, I am proud to say that the city's investment in our children has increased by millions of dollars over the past 7 years. But we know the solution isn't simply to throw money at the problem. It is clear that we need to, 1, build capacity in our city government to better serve our children. 2, partner with those that are already doing this work, including PUSD and community-based organizations. And 3, tailor programming based on the needs of our children. As part of this effort, in August 2022, the city hosted the Mayor's Youth Providers Summit. This convening brought together more than 120 participants representing 35 youth service organizations in Pomona to identify the assets that exist in the community to support youth and highlight gaps in our support. As a result, the city is building what we call a community dashboard that will provide information on the many public and private programs and services available throughout Pomona. For example, if a parent wants to sign up their child for a dance or art program, they can access up-to-date information by using the dashboard or visiting our soon to open, actually early next year, our Pomona Family Resource Center. So I want you to imagine for a moment a pediatrician who currently is not organized with us, right? Imagine a pediatrician who meets parents daily, equipped with this information, and helping to connect and empower those parents with valuable community resources. Imagine our community-based organizations who provide services to children and youth all working together to provide comprehensive support. It's fragmented at the moment, but imagine we address that fragmentation and we come together and the impact that it will have on our children and families. I have no doubt that we will see better outcomes for our children because of this targeted investment before they even start preschool or kindergarten. That is the single most important investment we can make in our future, our children. And that is why I'm happy to announce that the city, in collaboration with UCLA, PUSD, and the Pomona Community Foundation, received a $750,000 grant to do this vital work. Thank you. And I should just say thank you to the Hilton Foundation for making this grant and giving this grant to us. Support for children also means support for parents. To support our young parents who far too often face the greatest challenges raising their children, the city will launch at the end of this year a $5 million Universal Basic Income pilot program for 400 young families with parents in the 16 to 25 age range. Each participating family will receive a $500 monthly stipend for 24 months in supplementary income to spend on housing, healthcare, food, and activities that help children thrive. And this is just a pilot program, but it's something that our cities are also exploring, and the early results from those pilot programs are very promising. This summer, many of our youth who recently graduated from high school will leave for college, the military, or will enter the workforce. But as you know, there are a fraction of our youth who never made it to graduation and who struggle due to the all too familiar traumas we all know about. They need support as well. Early this year, the city and our Pomona PD, and in collaboration with PUSD and community-based organizations, launched a pre-arrest youth diversion program. The goal is to systematically steer youth in Pomona away from the legal system at the point of arrest into community-based services that lend them support. This will keep many of our youth out of the juvenile system. In the absence of the program, I want you to just hear these figures. A youth entering the criminal justice system has a 20 to 30% chance of being charged with another crime in the absence of this type of program. With such a program, there's only a 5 to 10% chance of being charged with another crime. While it's in its early stages, the results look promising and again show the power of community coming together. With programs like pre-arrest youth diversion and our recent award to launch a California Violence Intervention and Prevention Program, we are sending a strong message that the city cares and is committed to working with others to create the ecosystem for Pomona's youth and children to realize their full human potential. When we're at home, my son Roy loves to use the house as his very own running track every chance he gets. And he always wants to involve me. And it's a little harder for me to move around, but I do have longer legs, so I'm able to keep up and away, although he does catch me at times. But I am very mindful of the privilege he has. Running around the house. It's a 2-story house, so there's a lot of room to work. You know, I remember as a kid living on the 2nd floor of an apartment and how my parents would constantly remind me to stop running because we'd be bothering the people that live below us. This is the reality for many of our families and children who live in apartments. One of the few places they can access open green space is at our parks. I know our parks have many challenges, but improvements are happening. Residents will soon be able to access the newly renovated Hamilton Park, which will include 2 new playgrounds, a basketball court with a public art feature, solar-powered lighting, landscaping throughout the park, and a new restroom. And a new all-abilities playground at Civic Center Plaza called Kids World Pomona is in the design phase, with construction commencing next year. And I want to mention the restrooms. I know there are many problems with these facilities, and as a parent, I share your concerns. This next year, we will add new restrooms in 1/3 of our parks. We need... I hope you heard that, Renee. We need to do this to provide support for our families and community. And you should also know that with this investment that we continue to make in our children and our youth, with a great partnership with PUSD, we have expanded programming at our parks. Community and library services in collaboration with PUSD reached over 10,000 youth through various programs, camps, and events. And there are wonderful programs offered throughout the city, like this next group you're about to see, Music Tree, that offers music and dance lessons for children. Here to perform for us is the Music Tree Children's Choir. Please give them a nice big hand. Wow. I'm sure for some of you it brought back a lot of memories. So much talent in our community. Thank you to Music Tree. Earlier this year, the state awarded Pomona $11.3 million grant for the San Jose Creek Linear Park. It's a trail that runs from Cal Poly Pomona to Ganesha Park, where residents of all ages can walk or ride their bike. The next goal is extending this linear park from Ganesha Park, I should say, to Claremont, right past the new Gold Line station, to create one seamless ride from the mountains to our beaches. We imagined it for many years, but now it is becoming a reality, our reality. Thanks to the increase in our park fees paid by developers, which we approved in 2021, the city anticipates adding more parkland throughout the city where residents can walk, ride, or skate within walking distance from their home. Think about this ecosystem that we're building for each other. For our older adult residents like me, I'm getting there. Over 1,400 residents participated in city-sponsored field trips and dances, and over 34,000 meals were provided to them through the Pomona Senior Nutrition Program in 2022. What a great use of our parks and community centers, right? As we continue to build our ecosystem, which includes our roads and streets, and I know you want more roads and streets to be repaved. Last year, 14 miles were repaved. We always have in mind safe, convenient, and comfortable travel and access for users of all ages and abilities, regardless of their mode of transportation. This past year, the city completed its first ever Class 4 protected byway, I should say bikeway, on Valley Boulevard from Temple to Humane Way. Street Blog LA noted that the bikeway, 1.35 miles, is the first significant protected bikeway, meaning there's a protective curb separating the bike lane from the roadway in all of LA County. Think about that. And imagine how many of our college students who attend Cal Poly Pomona, you gotta love Cal Poly Pomona, everyone. I know you're here. Give them a nice big hand. And our brothers and sisters from Mount Sac, think about our children who graduate from our high schools and maybe don't have a car yet, or maybe don't even want a car, but they want to ride their bike, and they can ride it safely to Mount Sac and Cal Poly. A roadway project that will begin with the design phase later this year is the Gary Avenue project from Aliso Street by the hospital to Monterey Avenue. The project will include a repaved Gary Avenue with street trees, a planted median, and shaded sidewalks. The project will be along a stretch of the most iconic buildings in Pomona leading into downtown. I'm also happy to announce that later this year, the historical YMCA building, newly renovated, will open to a new name. Should I wait? And thank you to Spectra and the Atomics for their work and their team. It had a name for a short time there, and we worked, and thank you, Ray, and for opening it up. And so this is the first time the public is hearing it. It will now be known as the Union on Gary. Give them a nice big hand. The Union on Gary. Thank you. If you take a drive around Pomona, you will see market rate and affordable housing being built all over the city. Literally, I mean it. Get in your car or ride your bike or skateboard or whatever it is that you use for transportation, and you will see literally all over the city housing being built, including a development that was just completed recently across the street from our police department by Jamboree that will have 57 affordable housing units. Think about that. 57 affordable housing units. We know sometimes in other communities it is extremely hard to build affordable housing. What we have done in the city of Pomona is to demonstrate that we are committed to working to house people. And how important is that? And then, right on Holt, on the corner of East End and Holt, later this month, there will be the groundbreaking by a project being led by the Cesar Chavez Foundation that will be building a project there that's affordable housing. We are incredibly thankful, but we are building all types of housing all over this city to meet the needs of a growing community. And by this fall, very good, yep, we'll take it. And by this fall, Cal Poly Pomona's Bronco Steam Innovation Hub is expected to open shop in downtown Pomona. Now, it's a step, but wouldn't it be nice to have one of the departments of Cal Poly Pomona move their entire operation to the downtown and maybe even build some housing for students? And you can literally look downtown, and if you look down the railroad tracks, you will see Cal Poly Pomona. And wouldn't it be a great marketing tool for Cal Poly to say, if you want to live in an urban-like environment, come to our university, come to Cal Poly. We thank Cal Poly for their investment in our community, and I know Congresswoman Torres had much to do with the hub that is being built in the downtown. And it will actually provide workforce training programs and workspace and fabrication equipment to support Pomona's small businesses and innovators. Thank you, Cal Poly Pomona. With the recent groundbreaking, and probably most of us don't know all the businesses in the city, but we happen to have a global firm called Siemens USA, which is expanding its current site in Pomona to include a new greenfield manufacturing site. The new $94 million manufacturing facility would add an additional 100,000 square feet of production capacity and creating over 120 new local jobs when complete. The new Pomona facility will serve as a key U.S. manufacturing hub, and sometimes you don't even know this is happening in our community, for electrical products that support critical infrastructure markets, including data centers, electric vehicle charging, semiconductors, and more. And where would we be without our small businesses? How important is it to support our small businesses? I want you to give an incredibly big hand to the Chamber of Commerce for the work that they do to support our businesses. So I'm happy to announce in August, to support our small businesses, the city will launch a grants program of $750,000 to help them in the recovery from the impacts of COVID-19. And the city's financial health is strong. By the end of the fiscal year, our reserve fund, and if you're here, Andrew, are you here, Andrew? Finance Director Mowbray? Don't lose it. I'm not saying the exact amount, Andrew, but our reserve fund will be close to $60 million. This fund is important to protect the city during difficult economic times. When I first became mayor, our reserve fund was $14 million. $14 million to $60 million. It was not one person that made that possible. It was all of us working together, and thank you to the city staff for the work that you have done, and also to our residents for the work that they have done. Keep shopping online. Keep shopping online. It is a tremendous boost to our tax base here in the city of Pomona. The state of our city is strong. We're strong because we are working together, collaborating and innovating. When you dedicate time to serving on a commission, cleaning our streets, providing tutoring to our children, preserving our history, the stables that we know, there will be a groundbreaking ceremony later this month, but it's a stables that will be available not only to our water department staff, but it'll be available to the community. So all of those you who are involved in that work, give yourselves a nice big hand for making that possible. Thank you for preserving our history, teaching a child how to kick or hit a ball, delivering food to people in need, or advocating for our city government or institutions to be more just and equitable. All of you are strengthening Pomona. Together, we are shaping a city that's better for our children than it was for us, and even better for our grandchildren. That's creating an ecosystem where we thrive and prosper. Let's do this together. Thank you, Pomona. You are more than welcome to stay behind and take pictures. Let's get the music rolling. Do we have it? Do we have it on cue? Let's get it going. All right, you can dance, you can strut, you can wobble, whatever you do, keep. Let's keep working together, everyone. Thank you.